Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 20, from Shloka 1 to 4, studying the structure of the universe by His grace. Please repeat. Sri Shuka Uvacha Ataha Param Laksha Adina Paramana Lakshana Samsthanataha Vashya Vibhagaha Upagृह्यते Synonyms. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sukadeva Goswami said, Ataha Param. After this, Pleksha Adina. After island named Pleksha and others. Pramana Lakshana Samsthanataha. From the angle of dimensions, particular characteristics and form. Vashya Vibhagaha. The division of the island. Upavarnyate is described. Translation by His grace is divine grace is for Gopāl. The great sage Sundar Goswami said, hereafter I shall describe the dimensions, characteristics and forms of the 6 islands beginning with the island Laksha. Please repeat. The great sage Sundar Goswami said, hereafter I shall describe the dimensions, characteristics and forms of the 6 islands beginning with the island of Laksha. So we go with translation for the words. Our Sumera mountain is surrounded by Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is also surrounded by an ocean of salt water. The breadth of Jambudvipa is 100,000 yojanas, which is 800,000 miles. And the breadth of the salt water ocean is the same. As a moat around a fort is sometimes surrounded by a garden-like forest, the salt water ocean is surrounding Jambudvipa is itself surrounded by Lakshadvipa. The breadth of Lakshadvipa is twice that of the salt water ocean, which is like 1.6 million. In other words, 200 yojanas, 1.6 million miles. On the Lakshadvipa, there is a tree shining like gold as tall as the Jambu tree on Jambudvipa. As its root is a pine with 7 flames. At its roots, is a fire with 7 flames. It is because this tree is a Laksha tree that the island is called Lakshadvipa. Lakshadvipa was governed by Idmajibha, one of the sons of the Maharaja Priyamrita. He endowed the 7 islands with the names of his 7 sons, divided the islands among the sons, and then retired from active life to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. 523 and 4. The 7 islands, Vashas, are named according to the names of the 7 sons, Shiva, Yavasa, Subhadra, Shanta, Shema, Amrita, and Abhaya. In those 7 tracts of land, there are 7 mountains and 7 rivers. The mountains are named Manikuta, Vajrakuta, Indrasena, Jyotishman, Suparna, Hiranyastiva, and Megamala. And the rivers are named Aruna, Rumana, Angirasha, Savitri, Suptabhata, Rutambara, and Satyambara. One can immediately be free from material contamination by touching or bathing in those rivers. And the 4 castes of people who live in Lakshadvipa, the Hamas, Patangas, Gurdvayanas, and Satyangas, purify themselves in that way. The inhabitants of Lakshadvipa live for 1,000 years. They are beautiful like demigods. And they also beget children like the demigods. By completely performing the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas and by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, represented by the sun god, they attain the sun, which is heavenly planet. Purport by Mrs. Swami Srila Gopāl. According to the general understanding, there are originally three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. And people with a full fund of knowledge consider Lord Vishnu no better than Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. This conclusion, however, is invalid. As stated in the Vedas, Ishtapurna Bahuda Jayamanam Vishwam Vibrati Bhuvanasya Navihi Tad Evagnis Tad Vayus Tad Suryas Tadu Chandramanaha Agni Sarvadaivanaha. This means that the Supreme Lord who accepts and enjoys the results of the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, technically called Ishtapurta, who maintains the entire creation, who supplies the necessities of all living entities. Eko Bahuna Yo Vidadati Kama. And who is the central point of all creation is Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu expands as the demigods known as Agni, Vayu, Surya, and Chandra, who are simply parts and parcels of his body. Lord Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 23rd shloka, Yajnanyate devata bhakto yajante shraddhayanvita tepi mam eva bhakteya yajanti adiripurnam. Not proper. Okay, I'll connect the wire. It's okay. I'll connect the. Hare Krishna. Just check now. Hare Krishna. Keshava. Check now. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Okay. Okay, right? Okay. Devotees who worship the demigods with firm faith worship me also, but not according to regulative principles. In other words, If one worships the demigods but does not understand the relationship between the demigods and the supreme personality of Godhead, his worship is irregular. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 24th sloka, Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha pravritti. I am the only enjoyer of ritualistic ceremonies. I may be argued that the demigods are as important as Lord Vishnu because the names of the demigods are different names of Vishnus. This, however, is not sound conclusion. Is not a sound conclusion, for it is contradicted in the Vedic literatures. The Vedas declare Chandramana Manaso Jatas Chaksho Suryo Ajayata Shrotra Pranascha Mukhar Agnir Ajayata Narayana Brahma Narayana Rudrajayate Narayana Prajapati Jayate Narayana Indro Jayate Narayana Asto Vasho Jayate Narayana Ekadasha Rudrajayate. The demigod of the moon, Chandra, came from the mind of Narayana, and the sun god came from his eyes. The controlling deities of hearing and life air came from Narayana, and the controlling deity of fire was generated from his mouth. Prajapati, Lord Brahma, came from Narayana. Indra came from Narayana. And the 8 Vasus, the 11 expansions of Lord Shiva, and the 12 Adityas also came from Narayana. In the Smriti Vedic literature, it is also said, Brahma Shambhus Tadaiva Varkas Chandramanascha Shatakratu Evam Adyas Tadaivanye Yukta Vaishnava Tejase Jagat Karyavashane Viyujyante Cha Tejase Vitejascha Te Sarve Panchatvam Upayanti Te. Brahma, Shambhu, Surya, and Indra are all merely products of the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also true of the many other demigods whose names are not mentioned here. When the cosmic manifestation is annihilated, these different expansions of Narayana's potencies will merge into Narayana. In other words, all these demigods will die, their living force will be withdrawn, and they will merge into Narayana. Therefore, it should be concluded that Lord Vishnu, not Brahma or Lord Shiva, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the government officer is sometimes accepted as the entire government, although he is actually but a departmental manager, so the demigods have achieved power of the autonomy from Vishnu act on his behalf. All the demigods must work under the orders of Vishnu. Therefore, it is said, Ekale Eshwara Krishna or Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, 5th chapter, 146. The only master is Krishna, Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, and all others are his obedient servants who act exactly according to his orders. The distinction between Lord Vishnu and the demigods is also expressed in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 25th sloka. Yanti deva vrutan devan pitruyanti pitruvataha bhutani yanti bhutejo yanti madhyasino bhima. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, whereas the worshippers of Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu go to the planets in Vaikuntha. These are the statements of the Smriti. Therefore, the idea that Lord Vishnu is on the same level as the demigods is contradiction to the Shastras. The demigods are not supreme. The supremacy of the demigods is dependent on mercy of Lord Narayana, Vishnu, or Krishna. ओम अज्ञानातिमिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुर्मेलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं सावधूतं परिसरसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादं ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyanta Deshtarine. There turn off the echo if it is on. Echo cancellation everywhere it's there. Reduce the echo because I can hear from the mic source. Off. Okay. 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 Yes. Okay. Good. Hare Krishna. Still saying voice not clear. What's the time now? Okay. Good. Yeah.
So this, thank you for coming, joining us on the so we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam 5:21
Wonderful.
to 3 and 4. So you can see how everyone is very much mistaken with this idea that there are many gods in our religion. Jai Sri Radha.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yes.
Everyone is thinking there are many gods. I guess it's easier to explain that way because they are confused. So when the question is raised, who is God? They say all are God. Is it not? The argument is our Hindu religion got many gods. Yes? Is it not?
Yes.
So how do you argue on this point? How do you argue on this point that there's only one God?
The God is has qualities.
God have qualities. But how do you argue that God, there's only one God?
He's saying based on number of qualities.
Basic, very, very basic.
All demigods say Krishna is supreme. Brahma say Krishna is supreme. Shiva say Krishna is supreme. Brahma demigod, Brahma say Krishna is supreme.
How you know?
I read.
Huh?
I read it.
You read. What did you read?
Brahma demigod first class. Brahma say Krishna is supreme.
What is the word?
Ishvara Brahma Krishna
So Brahma is saying that Krishna is the Supreme, right? But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying he is the Supreme. Where is it said? What is that verse, Kenshan?
Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre manikana iva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as bells are strung on a thread.
So Krishna says there is no truth. Huh?
Superior to me.
Where else in the Gita he says that he is the Supreme? So 14.4. Okay, take out 14.4.
Two lines on 15.4.
Yeah, it says 14.4.
14.4. सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तया सम्भवन्ति या ताशं ब्रह्मा महद्योनिर् अहं बीजप्रदः पिता. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
What else? 10.12. What is 10.12?
Arjuna also saying,
No, we don't want to go there. Where does Krishna says?
Supreme is supreme.
I know Arjuna said, but we want to know where Krishna says he is the Supreme. The ladies, hello.
His voice is okay. Your voice is like coming from a distance like that. As if that mic is picking up your voice and not your mic. It's not like very clear. I mean, you can hear, but it's not the best. I don't know.
What is the verse? Hello. Very good. She said the hums. Take it, take out.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wife who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
What else? Hello.
Aham Adirhi Deva.
Then too, my job is easy. All of you do the work.
Name Vidut Suragana. Prabhavam Nama Harshaya. Aham Adirhi Devanam. Maharshinam cha sarvasha. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages.
What else? What other verses?
980.
Huh?
9.1.
18.
9.1.
18.
18.
18. 918 is
9 what? 18. 918. What is that? 918.
I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. And I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and eternal seat.
Very good. What else? Hmm? 1518.
Yes. No, Krishna. That's what 19. No? Sorry. Yasmaksharam atitoham
यस्माक्षरं अतीतोऽहम्
aksharad apichottama
अक्षरात्
atosmi loke vede cha
अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च
pritita purushottama.
अधिकतः पुरुषोत्तमः.
Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person.
Very good. What else? Hmm?
10, 20.
10, 20.
Aham Atma Gudakesha
अहम् आत्मा गुणाकेश
Sarva Bhutashaya Stitaha
सर्वभूताश्रयस्थितः.
Aham Adischa Madhyam Cha
अहम् आदिशक्तिं च
Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha.
भूतानां
I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities, and I am the beginning and the middle and the end of all beings.
Good. What else?
529 also.
Huh?
529 also. 529 also.
529.
Is
It says, I am the enjoyer. I am the Lord of the three worlds.
yeah.
Hmm? What are the verses?
Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrudam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatva Mam Shanti Richati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries.
You gotta have a verse that says that there's nobody equal to me. Nobody is above me in the Bhagavad Gita. You know where's that?
You mean in the sloka or in the purports?
Hello? Hello?
Natasya karyam natachabhyadikasya drishyate.
What?
Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natachabhyadikasya drishyate. So in 322 purport, he was saying,
Purport by one the words in the Gita. Eleven.
11:43.
Check out. Natvat samam te abhyadikaha kutomi. See that line?
Not saying that.
No, who's saying? Oh,
Arjuna.
Arjuna is saying. So there's nobody equal to him, no anybody is,
About
no sama and no
Adhika.
710 also.
बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विद्धि पार्थ सनातनम् बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमताम् अस्मि तेजस्विनाम् अहम्. O son of Krida, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men.
So again, you know, says Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is, I think, 15, 19 also.
Yeah. Yeah.
And celebrated as the topmost personality.
Yo mam yevam asammudo janati purushottamam sarvavid bhajanti mam bhajanti sarva bhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of God.
So, okay, now you heard that Krishna, of course, there's many more words, 9, 4, 9, 5, so many.
Nine,
It's practically.
entire
But
power.
now let us go even a little bit deeper. That he says that he is the, because it's a big problem among especially the other Sampradaya, they say that from Vishnu only Krishna came. So how do you counter this?
1328.
Huh?
1328 Bhagavad.
1, 3?
28 Bhagavad.
Yeah, Ekachamsa Kala Pushtam.
Krishnastu Bhagavan.
You know, I want a verse that says that he is the source of.
Jagadanda Yasya Prabha.
Yasya Prabha. Yeah? Check out that verse. He says that he is the source of Vishnu. Vishnu comes from him. Can you read that verse?
Yes, Prabhu. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti vashesha vasudadi vibhuti binnam tad brahma nishkalam anantam ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham
Not
bhajami.
this verse,
Vishnu.
not this one. Yasyasta nisvasita kala mathavalambhya jivan diloma vilaja jagadandanata. Vishnu. Yes.
548.
So here, this line, Vishnu Mahan Sa Yasya Kala, he is a part and parcel of Krishna. They don't accept Brahma Samhita, let's say. Many of them, because Brahma Samhita practically defeats all of them. So what other verses you have to say that Krishna is the source of Vishnu? Hello? What other verses? Right, give you a clue. It is in the Bhagavad Gita. More clue. 7th chapter. The answer 7:3. Gopāl. See? You got it? Krishna is the source of the three Vishnus. Yes? No? 7:4 then. Gopāl. Yeah. Yeah. Vishnu tu Triyani Rupani. This verse, yeah? Can you read the translate?
For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes three Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as the Mahat Tattva. The second, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, enters into all universes to create diversities in each of them. The third, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, is diffused as the all-pervading supersoul in all the universes and known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement.
So see, the Lord Krishna expands himself into these three Vishnu.
Three.
So how can
Hare
Vishnu,
Krishna.
Krishna come from Vishnu? Yes?
No, but this verse actually does not say Krishna. This is all.
In yeah,
Speaks about the three Vishnus.
Yeah. Only in the translation it is explained like that, but there is nothing in the verse. They'll say Prabhupada had it like the Satatam Vishnu. Smarta Vishnu.
All right, we go to another verse. Actually, these points are elaborated a lot in the chapter 10, text 12, I think. Is it?
yeah.
Or book one? 10, 12, is it? All the, from Narayana comes
That one 10:8.
10, 8, is it?
10:8 purpose.
10, 8, is it? Brahmano Devika Putraha. See?
Brahmanyo Devaki Putraha. The son of Devaki, Krishna, is the supreme personality. And again, Narayana Upanishad. Eko vai Narayana asinna Brahma na Ishano napi na Agni samoneme dvau aprititvina nakshatrani na suryaha. In the beginning of the creation, there was only the Supreme Personality, God Narayana. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven and earth, no stars in the sky, no sun. Maha Upanishad.
So you see, this chapter 10:8 has got all these verses about the supremacy of Krishna. So if you have to speak to somebody, so you remember this chapter, you see, right? And they like Upanishads and all this quotation from here. Next, you see, Varaha Purana.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the
Moksha Dharma. Okay, Varaha Purana. Narayana Paro Devas Tasmat Jatas Chaturmukha Tasmat Rudro Bhavat Deva Sacha Sarva Gnatam Gataha. Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, from whom Shiva was born. Lord Krishna is the source of all generations, and he is called the most efficient cause of everything. He says, because everything is born of me, I am the original source of all. Everything is under me. No one is above me. There is no supreme controller other than Krishna. One who understands Krishna in such a way from a bona fide spiritual master with references from Vedic literature engages all his energy in Krishna consciousness and becomes truly learned man. In comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. Only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. A Krishna conscious person should not be bewildered by fools. He should avoid all unauthorized commentaries and interpretations of Bhagavad Gita and proceed in Krishna consciousness with determination and firmness.
So in this chapter, all these verses are there. Where else? So we understand that Narayana is the supreme. He is the source of Brahma. And so why is Brahma saying that Krishna is the supreme? Sure, you know this one is very easy. Okay. Where does Brahma say Krishna is the supreme? Brahma Samhita. Very good. What is the verse? 5.1. What is that 5.1? All right, very good. So I don't want to go there because you all know, correct? Where else Brahma says that Krishna is the supreme? Where else he says?
Yeah, 10, 14.
10, 14? 10, 14, 14. Go to the translation.
Are you not the original Narayana, O Supreme Controller? Since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness and of all created realms, eternal witness of all created realms, indeed, Lord Narayana is your expansion, and he is called Narayana because he is generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya.
Why else? Most stronger ones. Which one?
14, 38, 38.
Huh?
10, 14, 38.
10, 14, 38.
There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words.
This doesn't really, to the point.
Ja.
2, 34. This is a verse you must remember. Right? 2, 34.
The great personality, Brahma, with great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times, and after scrutinizingly examining them, he ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion.
Now that after 3 times he studied scrutinizingly and he come to a conclusion that Krishna is the
Supreme.
that this is Brahma. Of course, there are many more verses. Now let's go to Shiva. Where does Lord Shiva say Krishna is the Supreme? Hello? That he says Vishnu is the Supreme, right? Yeah. Where? Of course, we can quote Aradhanam Sarvesham because Vishnu and Krishna are not the same, right? So where it says specifically, Lord Shiva says worship of,
424.
424. Yeah, 424. He's telling the Prasetas.
28.
28.
Surrender to Krishna.
Anyone who worshipping Krishna. Yes?
Namo Vishuddha Sattva. Vasudeva.
Vasudevam is also Krishna. Bhagavantam Vasudevam.
Prapanna Sapriyo Hime.
In fact, there's one verse, it says, Suddham,
Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shaktitam.
it says that is 4.
4-3. Lord Shiva continued, any person who is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the controller of everything, material nature as well as the living entity, is actually very dear to me.
Is that here?
And then 4-3.
Because if you want to kind of argue with people, then you say that Devi, wife was chanting Vishnu's name. She was chanting Vishnu's name. What is that word? CC.
Rama Rameti Rameti. 932.
Rame Rame.
932. This one we go or not? Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva.
Yeah.
I am always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudeva in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as the Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering.
Is that here? This is spoken by Lord Shiva. And then when Devi was chanting this 1000 name of Vishnu, what is that? Vishnu Sahasranam. Yes?
Yes. We can go previous verses also.
Read that.
Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Vistulyam Ramanama Varanane. Lord Shiva addressed his wife Durga, "Oh, Varanana, I chant the holy name of Rama, 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 and thus enjoy this beautiful sound. This holy name of Ramachandra is equal to 1000 holy names of Lord Vishnu."
Here. And then next verse.
Yeah. Sahasranamam Namanam Punyam Trir Avrityatu Yat Phalam Ekavrittaya tu Krishnaya Namaikam Tat Prayachati.
The next verse reads.
The pious results derived from chanting the 1000 holy names of Vishnu 3 times can be attained by only one utterance of the holy name of Krishna.
See, 1000 names of Vishnu is equal to 3 names of Ram is equal to 1 name of
Krishna.
This is coming from where?
Brahmanda Purana.
Brahmananda Purana.
Brahmanda.
Okay. So now you see, Lord Shiva is also saying, right? Okay. Where does the demigod say that Krishna is supreme? Huh? 1:18:21.
Who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. This very water, the Ganges, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva.
But where did the demigods say that Krishna is the supreme?
Yeah,
10?
to 26. Without no one can. His decision is final. The demigods prayed, O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, sustenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the
This doesn't show, not very to the point. I usually quote this verse 3, 5, 50 in my preaching.
O Maitreya, O friend of the
50.
You are the original personal founder of all the demigods.
So the point there, they just point to that point. You are the original personal founder of all the
Demigods.
demigods. Read on.
And under the orders of different gradations. Yet you are the oldest and are unchanged. O Lord, you have no source or superior. You have impregnated the eternal energy with the semen of the total living entities. Yet you are unborn.
So see that? Where else? I think you know in the 10, 10, 27, what?
6.
Second?
Indra.
Indra.
Yeah. Pita Guru Stam Jagat Adishu. You are the father and spiritual master of this entire universe and also its supreme controller. You are insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon the sinful for their own benefit. Indeed, in your various incarnations, selected by your own free will, you act decisively to remove the false pride of those who presume themselves masters of this world.
Where else? This verse I think you chant in your school, you know. Huh? This verse you chant in your school. Not this one.
12, 13.
Yeah. Yam Brahma Varna.
All the Indians they chant this in school, right?
We never understood what every day in assembly morning.
Yeah. This one. Hyderabad. Sruta Uvacha.
Translation.
Yeah. Sutta Goswami said, unto that personality whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and the Maruts praised by chanting transcendental hymns and reciting the Vedas with all their corollaries, Padakramas, and Upanishads, to whom the chanters of the Samaveda always sing, whom the perfected yogis see within their minds after fixing themselves in trance and becoming fully absorbed in thoughts of him, and whose limit can never be found by any demigod or demon. Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my humble obeisances.
Well, who's that here? Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead here?
Actually, this chapter is very,
Uh,
very clear. Actually, after this,
All about Krishna. After this, next shloka, if we see. He explains about one after another.
Again, who in the Supreme Personality? Go to the Sanskrit, is that? Let me see.
Brahmya.
Just say that he appears as Kurma. But who is that is appearing? Right? Can be debatable. And Mayavats like all this stuff.
that's why we had in that.
Because don't know who is it.
But actually, it become more. All this about glory of Bhagavan.
So now we understand that the demigods are also praying to Krishna. What about Narayana praying to Krishna?
The sons,
Huh?
the sons, return.
After returning the son of Brahmana.
That is Mahavishnu.
Say,
Narayana. Specifically Narayana praying to Krishna. Yeah? Hello. This is getting a little tougher. Where? You know where it is? They had to go to the CC. That he attracts even the mind of Narayana.
I think it's 10:57.
Hmm?
3 to 12.
What?
3 to 12, he's saying. This one, in purport, is it? That's it, sir. The Lord appeared in the mortal world by his internal potency, Yogamaya. He came in his eternal form, which is just suitable for his pastimes. These pastimes were wonderful for everyone, even for those proud of their own opulence, including the Lord himself in his form as the Lord Vaikuntha. Thus, his Sri Krishna's transcendental body is the ornament of all ornaments.
Eight 145. Yeah.
8.
140.
No, it will not help. Just few minutes. Yeah. He He also attracts Narayana, who is the incarnation of Sankarshana and husband of the goddess of fortune. He attracts not only Narayana but also all women, headed by the goddess of fortune, the consort of Narayana.
Twenty-one 104. Twenty-one 104 106.
The wonderful form of Krishna in his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the six opulences of Krishna. He is eternally situated in his opulences. Ornaments caress that body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments, enchanting the wonderful beauty of Krishna in his three curved style of standing. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimad Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. The beauty of Krishna's body is so attractive that it attracts not only the demigods and the other living entities within the material world, but the personalities of the spiritual sky as well, including the Narayanas, who are expansions of Krishna's personality. The minds of the Narayanas are thus attracted by the beauty of Krishna's body. In addition, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmis, who are the wives of the Narayanas and are the women described in the Vedas as most chaste, are also attracted by the wonderful beauty of Krishna.
So you can see from here that how Krishna, he attracts everybody. Yes. I mean, this whole chapter is the whole thing is about Krishna's, sweetness. It's 21 from this. You can,
How did we get here from that?
huh?
How did we get here from the today's verse?
Um, in today's verse, it has been said that Vishnu is the supreme of all these planets, and comparison between Vishnu names and Brahma names, all this and all of that. So Prabhu first explained that, then later he is asking how Krishna is even supreme than Vishnu.
So we have come from Krishna himself declaring, then we proceeded to Brahma declaring, then Lord Shiva, then the demigods. Of course, we didn't do the sages, but there are many sages say that. Then we have gone to how even Narayana is also attracted to Krishna. And finally, here in this whole chapter 21, you can see the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing the sweetness of Krishna, how he is so attractive. So if you have time, you can go and read that whole section about how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Nobody can rival him. He is without any rival. So therefore, it says that that Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan. Etachamsa Kala Pumsam Krishna tu
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan Swayam. So there's nobody else can be equal to come very near to him. And he's extremely powerful that he can bewilder anyone and everyone. That's his power. That's why when anyone say that Mahavishnu, Krishna, Brahma and Shiva, some Hindus, they believe this theory that there, in the Hindu religion there are three trinities. Yeah? So you must learn how to counter this argument. You understand? When you say the three, among the three, Vishnu is not the same as the other two. I think there's a word about that. 1, 2, 19, is it? 1 to 19? Yeah.
1 to 19 is not.
Not this one. It says in,
The first part is
no, the verse. Vishnu, worship of Vishnu is better than worship of Brahma and Shiva.
that 26.
Huh?
26.
Huh?
26.
22.
Gora.
Yeah.
Narayana.
No, not this verse. Not this verse. One, 2, 23.
The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance. And just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction, he accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness.
That. So they always say about this Trinity, they call it the Holy Trinity. They equate it with the Christian concept. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Because the so-called Christians, when they captured India, so they have this Trinity concept. So they try to equate that with the Hindu, they call it the Hindu mythology. Yeah? So, but we are not into these three things. Of course, even though Vishnu he is not part of the material modes of nature. He is beyond. Not influence. But Brahma and Shiva, they are under the modes. Different. And of course, Krishna is the source of all. So we have to have all our arguments at hand when people talk. Mostly they talk nonsense. We should learn how to counter all the arguments. Actually, when I go, especially traveling, this is my main subject everywhere. I always ask, who is God? And 99% of the time they get it all wrong. Okay? So that's the basic. If you don't know who is God, then how you proceed further? You cannot go to love the Lord if you don't accept who is God. God is. And also, if you don't accept the form of Krishna, you also cannot make any progress. You understand this point? And many people are, what we say, they reduce the form of Krishna as secondary. You understand? This argument also is not holding ground. Do you know where it is in the Bhagavad Gita? Huh? You know where? 7. Take on. It says the form of Krishna is
Unintelligent man who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme.
See that point here?
14.
So they think that Krishna came from the impersonalist, avyakta. So you must also have an argument for this, that Krishna himself is saying unintelligent men, abuddhaya.
Manyate.
Those who got no brains. You understand? Neither the demigods are equal, or neither he came from Vishnu, or he came from the impersonal.
Teacher.
Understand? Are you understanding? And some people will say that this form is imagination. This form is
Imagination.
it's not a fact. How you argue on that? This form is not imaginary. That's describing the form. But where it says that you cannot go without the form. Without form, you cannot develop your love for the Lord.
12th chapter.
Where does it say that?
12th chapter.
Huh? 10 to 35.
Never falls down.
No, 10 to 32 never fall down, but the form.
10 to
Same as 12.5.
Huh?
Same as 12.5.
Kleshodhi Sarikara.
What?
12.5 Bhagavad Gita. No? And this same.
12? What? Can I read this verse, please?
O Lord, cause of the all causes. If your transcendental body were not beyond the modes of material nature, one could not understand the difference between matter and transcendence. Only by your presence can one understand the transcendental nature of your Lordship, who are the controller of material nature. Your transcendental nature is very difficult to understand unless one is influenced by the presence of your transcendental form.
Is that? You understand? So you cannot argue that God is impersonal. Remember this. You understand? Two very important things are from the Lord. One is his form, another one is what is that?
name.
Name.
Where is that verse?
6:16:51.
6:16?
51.
51? This is 50, I think. 51 or 50? Take the words out. So you see, without these two things, it's difficult for you to go to the Lord. One, you need the form, and you need. That's why those people who speculate that God is no form, they cannot go to God. It's not possible for them. Understand? So this is the verse, take out.
Yes, Shabda Brahma Param.
Yeah, Sapta Brahma,
Param Brahma.
51, is it?
Yeah, 51.
Read the translation.
All living entities, moving and non-moving, are my expansions and are separate from me. And I am the super soul of all living beings who exist because I manifest them. And I am the form of the transcendental vibrations like Omkara and Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And I am the supreme absolute truth. The two forms of mine, namely the transcendental sound, and the eternally blissful spiritual form of the deity are my eternal forms. They are not material.
You understand? In the NOD, Nectar of Devotion, chapter 34, you can go to the last paragraph there.
Go to 35.
35,
Yeah,
35, 35, 35, yeah, last paragraph.
You go to then 36 and come
Yeah.
back. Go to 36 and come back. Good.
Yeah, you see, the last line.
Shukadeva Goswami said, and below Shukadeva Goswami and below Mangal Thakura, who gave up the impersonal conception of the absolute truth to take to the devotional service, are the best example of devotees situated in the neutral state. According to some authorities, this condition cannot be accepted as one of the transcendental humors or rasas. But Srila Rupa Goswami says that even if one does not accept it as a transcendental humor, one must still accept it as the beginning position of devotional service.
You
How-
go to the last paragraph.
Last paragraph.
Last
Okay.
paragraph.
This connection in the 11th canto.
In this connection, in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna personally instructs Uddhava like this. The state of being established in my personal form is called Shantarasa, and without being situated in this position, no one can advance to actual pure devotional service. In other words, no one can be situated in the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead without being situated at least in Shantarasa.
So without worshipping the form of the Lord, you cannot proceed in loving the Lord. It's not possible. You understand this? Further to this point,
Can you go a little bit up? You can click on the 11th. Click on the 11th canto.
now we go here now. 19, 2, 1, 2. This is to further explain why you must worship the form of the Lord. You understand? We have established Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now we are stressing on why we should worship His form. Because without worshipping Him personally, there's no possibility of you developing love for Him. Yes, now can you read?
These are the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one's intelligence is fully attached to my lotus feet, but one does not render practical devotional service, one has attained the stage called Shantirati or Shama. Without Shantarati, attachment to Krishna is very difficult to achieve.
To that point, without getting attracted to Krishna's form, you cannot develop any love for Him. That's not possible. Next verse.
The word Shama or Shantarasa indicates that one is attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. Dhamma means controlling the senses and not being deviated from the Lord's service. Endurance of unhappiness is titiksha, and dhruti means controlling the tongue and genitals. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 19th chapter, 36 verse. The conditioned soul under the clutches of Maya, the material energy, is very much agitated by the urges of the tongue and the genitals. Control of the urges of the tongue, the belly, and the genitals, which are situated in a straight line, is called dhriti. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura says, Dharamadhya jivate lobhamay sudurmate. Among the senses, the tongue is the most formidable enemy of the conditioned soul. Urged by the tongue, one commits many sinful activities. Although Krishna has given human beings nice food, people still commit sins by killing poor animals for the satisfaction of the tongue. Not being able to control the tongue, the conditioned soul eats more than the needs. Of course, everyone must eat to keep the body fit for the Lord's service. But when one cannot control the senses, he falls victim to the dictations of the tongue and the belly. Naturally, genital hesitation follows and one seeks illicit sex. However, if one is fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna, he can control the tongue. Bhakti Vinod Thakur further states, Krishna bada dayamai, kari bare jivaje. Soprasadanna dilobai. In order to conquer the tongue, Krishna has been very merciful and has given us nice food that has been offered to him. Upstairs, they are doing some. When a person is attached to Krishna's lotus feet, he does not eat anything not offered to Krishna. Steyannamruta Pau, Radha Krishna Gunagau, Remedako Sri Chaitanya Nitai. Since a devotee eats only prasadam, he conquers the dictations of the tongue, belly, and genitals. One can control the dictates of the senses when situated in the position of Shankarasa. Then one's advancement in Krishna consciousness is assured.
See why the form.
Prashant.
You see the point here, Prabhupada, what is he writing in the purport? Worship of the form, but he then went to
Prashant.
the tongue. In other words, if you cannot take Krishna Prasadam, then you cannot make any spiritual advancement. Understand? You follow? Huh? Understand this point? So, worship of the Lord is the supreme, and not that you worship his what? His Brahma Jyoti. That does not, you cannot make advancement in spiritual life if you don't worship the form of the Lord. There are many people who try to promote the worship of the impersonal aspect. But anyone who is in that category cannot develop love for God. That's not possible. You understand? That's why here today, point is that unless you worship Krishna, you cannot make any progress. In our line, we are also forbidden to worship any other form except Krishna. You understand? We also don't indulge in worshiping. I see many householders, they like to buy this what?
Laddu Gopal.
They think that's so cute, baby Krishna. But this is not our line. This is not what? Our line is worship of Radha and because they don't know, they think this is a very cute program. We have to have their householders, they must have a little baby Krishna. They think like that. All right, so I don't want to take more of your time. Is it very clear what we have covered? Huh? This program.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay. Nectar of devotion.
That nectar of devotion?
Yes. Vedanta.
What? I thought you said that's nectar of devotion. That goes the nectar of devotion. Huh?
Mataji.
Hey, lock it, please.
So, okay, any other questions that we have not covered or you want to add anything?
So,
Huh?
One disregard the personal form goes to him.
Yes, you know where's that word?
394.
Asat Prasangi. 394. Which one?
this is a Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu word, which says about Sri Krishna Swarupa.
Yeah.
Venkata Bhatt continued, according to transcendental realization, there is no difference between the forms of Narayana and Krishna. Yet in Krishna, there is a special transcendental attraction due to the conjugal mellow, and consequently, he surpasses Narayana. This is the conclusion of transcendental mellows.
Of course, Krishna has got 64 qualities, right?
Yes.
Narayana got how much?
60.
60. Nobody can surpass Krishna, right? Okay, we have covered pretty much the subject. Everyone is clear or not clear? Why we worship Krishna?
What is there? It says that you told that one of the point is that everybody under the illusory energy of the Lord, but Lord is not. That Lord Shiva is speaking. 8, 12, 10.
8, 12, 10.
Yeah. Mohini. Yeah. O my Lord, I, who am considered to thee best of the demigods, and Lord Brahma and the great rishis, headed by Marichi, are born of the mode of goodness. Nonetheless, we are bewildered by your illusory energy and cannot understand what this creation is. Aside from us, what is to be said of others like the demons and human beings who are not in the base modes of material, who are in the base modes of material nature, Rajoguna and Tamoguna? How will they know you?
There's another verse spoken by Yamaraj. 6:3. Although we are Mahajans and everything, but we cannot steal. Right? You know that verse? Huh? No.
15.
Huh?
15.
Check.
15.
Although but Lord Shiva, all the names he put, but still we cannot
Understand?
know.
Yeah.
15.
15, right?
14.
Yeah. I, Yamaraja, Indra, the king of heaven, Niriti, Varuna, Chandra, and the moon god, Agni, Lord Shiva, Pavana, Lord Brahma, Surya, the sun god, Vishwasu, the 8 Vasus, the Sadyas, the Maruts, the Rudras, the Siddhas, Marichi, and other great rishis engaged in maintaining the departmental affairs of this universe. The best of the demigods, headed by Brihaspati, and the great sages, headed by Bhrigu, are all certainly freed from the influence of the two base material modes of nature, namely passion and ignorance. Nevertheless, although we are in the mode of goodness, we cannot understand the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What then is said to be said of others who, under illusion, merely speculate to know God?
This is another subject about how nobody can know Krishna. Anyway, it's going to go too long. So we stop here then. Thank you. Otherwise, you will be hungry. And then you will be hungry. Big problem. Instead of getting blessing, I get cursing. Why he has to speak so long? Like crazy class, always so long. Yes. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Go Premanand.
Hare Hare.